Jada Lee had never wanted the spotlight. To her, being invisible was an advantage as shield. She could hide behind while working her way through the endless grime of Prospect 7. The orbital mining station was little more than a rusting can at the edge of mapped space. Populated by tired miners, worn engineers, and a handful of families clinging to a better future. It was far from Earth, forgotten by most, but for Jada, it was home. She worked the graveyard shift as janitor, moving quietly from corridor to corridor, fixing leaks, cleaning up after machinery malfunctions, and humming softly to herself as she worked. She knew every bolt, every shortcut, every hidden crawl space and trick of the airlocks. One night as Jada scrubbed the floor in Cargo Bay 3, she heard a faint tapping echo through the hull. Her father had taught her Morse code before he died in an accident at a distant mining site. She froze, heart thumping, and listened. The pattern repeated. Enemy aboard. Fear slithered up her spine. She pressed her ear to the cold bulkhead, hearing muffled voices, then a sudden bang and silence. A second later, the lights flickered and turned crimson. The alarm sounded, a mechanical voice warning, security breach. All crew to lock down. Jada peeked out just as towering, insectoid figures swept through the far hatch. Zar'Luth. Everyone on the outer stations had heard the story's merciless slavers who picked the weak and isolated, taking people away to labor in mines on worlds nobody could name. The first Zar'Luth patrol scanned the cargo bay, clicking commands and waving weapons that crackled with blue light. Jada ducked back, heart hammering, holding her mop with trembling hands. As she inched along the wall, she heard terrified voices from the mess hall. Children crying, the cook shouting, someone pleading for mercy. She could have run. Every instinct told her to crawl into a duct and hide. But as she listened to the fear in those voices, something stubborn woke inside her. If she disappeared now, who would help the others? Jada gritted her teeth, grabbed her toolkit and her faithful cleaning bot chip, and slipped into the maintenance shafts. Nobody saw her vanish into the shadows. Not yet. Navigating the station in chaos was both easier and harder for Jada than she expected. The Zar'Luth locked down main corridors, but they didn't know the back ways, the dusty crawl spaces, or the vent covers Jada had unbolted and fixed 100 times. She moved like a shadow, feeling her way in the dark and silent behind the enemy patrols. Her first mission was rescue. She found Amir, the hydroponics tech, wedged behind boxes in storage, shivering with fear. Jada whispered for him to follow, using hand signals to lead him through hidden ducts. Together, they reached the engine control room, where Nail, barely 20 and brilliant with electronics, was trying to hack the door controls. The reunion was tense, but hopeful. The sight of Jada, calm and determined, gave the others courage. They crept back and forth, rescuing whoever they could. Sometimes they slipped past patrols, other times they set improvised traps. A bucket of cleaning chemicals dumped into an alien sensor. Fried circuit rigged to blast sparks at the touch of a Zar'Luth's claw. Mir rigged a hydroponic sprinkler to spray the invaders, buying them precious seconds. Nell bypassed security to scramble cameras and open locked doors. The group grew, one frightened survivor at a time. Marisol the medic, the old cook named Suri, a pair of miners who knew how to move quietly and keep watch. But the enemy was learning too. They deployed heartbeat tracking drones and started venting oxygen from side modules to flush out hiding humans. During a rescue attempt in the mess hall, Amir was captured, fighting to help a group of children escape. Jada saw it happen, helpless, furious, and filled with guilt. The loss stung, but Nell grabbed her hand. We're not giving up. We get him back. We get 'em all back. That night, hidden deep in the vents, Jada used a battered cumset to broadcast. If you're still free, don't surrender. Stay moving. Stay quiet. We'll fight back. All over the station, tiny lights blinked as hidden crew received her message. Meanwhile, the Zar'Luth commander scoured the records, hunting the human who defied him. Find this leader, he ordered, convinced he was facing a trained rebel knot, a janitor with a mop and a stubborn heart. Days passed, each harder than the last. The Zar'Luth grew crueler, desperate to stamp out resistance. Patrols tightened, drones filled the halls, and oxygen dwindled. Still, Jada's little group grew, fueled by hope and the stubborn refusal to surrender. Old Tom, a quiet mechanic, joined with skills in sabotage. Suri brought stolen food. Nell mapped out every hidden passage. Jada taught everyone to fight with what they had: cleaning rods, kitchen knives, wire snares, and chemical sprays. She rigged her cleaning bot chip to deliver coded messages so teams could coordinate their movements. The resistance struck quickly, freeing prisoners, disabling patrols, and creating confusion for the invaders. During a desperate raid on the cargo bay, Nell hacked a Zar'Luth patrol drone. From its memory, they learned the enemy's true purpose. The Zar'Luth needed humans alive to mine a rare mineral buried deep beneath. Prospect 7, something only human hands and minds could extract safely. The realization changed everything. If the crew refused to cooperate, the Zar'Luth would fail. Jada spread the word through the hidden network. We're valuable. They can't win without us. Don't give in. The knowledge fueled new courage. Teams began sabotaging mining equipment, staging hit-and-run ambushes, and smuggling more crew to safety. The Zar'Luth, enraged, tried to break their spirit. The commander ordered a purge, all remaining humans to be herded into the reactor core for final control. But Jada, hidden above the control deck, listened and plotted. She would not let it end this way. The final stand began as the Zar'Luth swept through the corridors, driving terrified survivors toward the heart of the station. Jada and Nell sprang their traps. Coolant pipes burst, flooding key passages and confusing alien sensors. Tom and Suri erected makeshift barricades from scrap and old equipment, buying precious time. Jada and her team moved swiftly, doubling back to engineering, where Amir was being held with other captives. The rescue was frantic. Nell cut the power, plunging the deck into darkness while Jada and Suri slipped past the guards and freed their friends. Amir, battered but alive, grinned through split lips. I knew you'd come. With more allies, the resistance surged. They seized the engineering controls, locking down the reactor area and trapping the bulk of the Zar'Luth forces. At the station's core, Jada confronted the Zar'Luth commander, who towered over her with contempt. You are nothing human. Surrender or perish. Jada faced him, mop in hand, grease on her cheek, and replied, We built this place. You have no idea what we're capable of. Nell triggered the overloaded reactor's feedback, frying the enemy's weapons. The chaos, the survivors forced the commander and his elite guards into an airlock, cycling them into open space. The remaining Zar'Luth, leaderless and panicked, abandoned the fight and retreated, sealing their fate. Prospect 7 was theirs again. In the quiet aftermath, the surviving crew gathered in the main hall, eyes raw but spirits brightening with the return of hope. Rescue ships soon responded to Nell's hidden distress signal. The story of the uprising spread rapidly among nearby stations and settlements. Jada found herself the unlikely hero, fielding questions from newscasters and distant station leaders. I just did what anyone would do. I know this place and I love these people. We don't give up. Mir clapped her on the back. Nell grinned, and even old Tom cracked a rare smile. From that year forward, Prospect 7 celebrated their survival by cleaning the station together on the anniversary of their liberation. Jada's battered mop hung in a place of honor, a symbol that even the quietest, most overlooked person can become the hero no one expects. Throughout the belt, the legend of Jada Lee grew. When new dangers threatened far-flung colonies, people remembered how a janitor with a mop, a stubborn heart, and a handful of friends changed the fate of the station and gave hope to humanity across the stars.